What's up guys, my name is Ivan Valdovinos, and on this channel I provide tips, tricks, advice, and strategies for your graduate school applications. So if you are new here, consider subscribing. I am back with another statement of purpose example. This time it is a 500-word sample for the University of Washington Communication Leadership Master's Program. In my position at Seattle Central, I get to meet and tell the stories of many students, but Dee Meekin's story struck with me. She never thought college was a possibility after becoming a single teenage parent, but she enrolled at Seattle Central in her early 40s and excelled beyond her expectations. Through meeting students like Dee at Seattle Central, I have found my passion for storytelling. I am fortunate to give a platform to underrepresented students with the goal of inspiring others who face similar adversities. While my 2 years at Seattle Central have laid a great foundation, I hope that the Communication Leadership Program will help me elevate my skill set so that I may be a driving force for measurable impact in my community. So in the first couple of paragraphs here, the student, he gets directly to the point. He talks about an experience he had at his current job at Seattle Central, and he talks about storytelling. So right away we know that this whole statement of purpose, this really short statement of purpose actually, is going to be about storytelling of underrepresented students and how he wants to go into this master's program to be able to elevate his skills. That way he's able to tell stories at a greater level and so it can impact his community. So I really like how he gets straight to the point because, as we already mentioned, this is 500 words, so you have to get straight to the point. You don't want to put fluff because you don't have the word count to do so. As a young person of color, I want to see myself and others that look like me lead the future of professional communication. I know that a master of communication in communities and networks will hone my ability to be a thought leader and advocate at the table in the communications world and beyond. After graduate school, I want to work for an organization that does meaningful work in the communities it serves. I am most eager to strengthen my communication and leadership skills that will prepare me to be confident in making valuable contributions to an organization. By doing so, I will build confidence to speak to a perspective that is not often heard. So in these next two paragraphs, the applicant, he talks a little bit about his personal experiences, not too in depth because of, again, the word count, but we do learn that he is a person of color and that he doesn't see people that look like him as communication leaders. And so he wants to do that by assuming this role in the master's program, and he wants to learn how to become a thought-provoking communications leader in the field. And so he wants to do this by attending this master's program, and he wants to become an advocate for these people that are usually not represented in news media or really just in communication in general. And so I really like that about this because it's already showing the committee exactly what his mission is to getting a graduate degree. And he does this really well in just two short paragraphs. He also mentions a little bit about his future work. So he wants to work for an organization that's going to help him be able to use the skills he learns in graduate school to be able to elevate the experiences, the storytelling of underrepresented students and people, really. I look forward to exploring courses that will introduce me to new modes of storytelling and help me become a well-rounded leader in the workplace, such as the storytelling for emerging platforms and listening and leadership. It is apparent that the Communication Leadership Program lives up to the college's value of educating students to become responsible global citizens and future leaders through the success of its alumni. I'm excited to follow in the footsteps of the alumni I know personally. Shua Yuan inspires me by putting storytelling in the forefront of her work at C+C Social Marketing and PR. Robert Ortiz has shown me the value of partnerships and collaborations as a colleague at Seattle Central. So these last two paragraphs are the why this program, why this college. And so the applicant here describes that he wants to take two classes. So he says storytelling for emerging platforms and listening and leadership. So we know that he's done his research. We know that he is interested in the program because he's done the research. He took out courses that he possibly wants to take, and he wrote them down in his statement of purpose. He also does a really good job of including the alumni that he knows into his statement of purpose. So right here we know that he knows 2 alumni of the program, Shuya Yuan and this other person called Robert Ortiz. And so Robert Ortiz in this example here is actually one of his colleagues. So he's telling the program, I already have these connections. I already know more deep what your program could do for me, because he has these connections, these networks at his current job. So if you do have some type of connection with alumni, faculty, or staff, or current students that attend the university you want to apply to, definitely mention that somewhere in your application. It doesn't have to be your statement of purpose, but somewhere in your application. I know in my personal experiences when I was applying for the Harvard Graduate School of Education, I did mention that in my application because I did know an alumni of the program that I was applying to, and I don't know if that really helped or not, but it actually shows that you are you're already well versed in the program, that you have these connections, that you might be a great asset because you know someone that went through the program and you know great detail of what the program entails. So definitely include that if you do have those networks within your networks, and include that somewhere in the application, whether it's in the statement of purpose or the application as a whole. Just as Dee Dee's story continues to inspire others in our Seattle Central community, her story inspires and reminds me to push myself academically and to be a voice for others. I am more ready than ever to continue in higher education, challenge myself, and make a difference in the community. A master's degree from the Communications Leadership Program will mold me into an effective communication leader and help me gain access to the spaces where I can make real change. So he ends the paragraph with a really good conclusion. So he reiterates his experience of storytelling of the student that he currently works with, and he talks a little bit about that and how that inspires him to continue to do the work that he does, and that he is more inclined to go into a master's program because he wants to continue telling the stories of people like Dee Dee. He also says that he wants to be a thought leader in the communication space, and that he wants to be able to use his master's degree and leverage that to go into to access spaces where he can contribute a real change. And so I really like that because he's driving the change aspect of his motivation to go to graduate school. At the end, he summarizes that really neatly in one sentence. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video and you learned something new. This was a really short statement of purpose, so I hope that if you are asked to write a statement of purpose that's only 500 words or less, that you took something from this video. I guess the main points that I want you to take from here is that you don't have room for fluff. Get to the point, get to your career goal, let them know why you want to attend the program, and keep it concise and really clear, and include yourself, your story in it as well, but keep it very brief. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.